Diamonds in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the number, that's a lot of crime. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. Big time, lot of slime. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of prime. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try to take it from me. Yeah. Ooh, big time, big time, big time.
Welcome to episode 222 of Fourth and Jawn. I am Gail Saunders here with Evan Hollywood Hearn, Prime in the building, and Jimmy Smith. We are here talking training camp, news and notes. Obviously, the Patriots and Bill Belichick are in town for the last 2 days. It's been phenomenal. Looking at our players going against their talent. It seems like we are winning the war against the Patriots, so that's good news. I got an opportunity to go down. Shout out to Mel, who hooked that up. That was a great experience again. Just being down there, watching the joint practices, really just watching them, the one-on-ones, man. Just filming the one-on-ones and just being right there, and because you're looking at all the notes that all these beat writers have put on the timeline. Some you trust, some you're like, okay, I don't know about that one. But you get an opportunity to see with your own eyes and make the judgment. So I feel like I got a good feel for what was going on. I didn't get to see Devontae Smith in one-on-ones because he wasn't out there, but he was dressed in full yesterday. But it was just great seeing Sirianni up close and just the way that he was conducting practice. So I felt like, overall, I mean, you're talking about two young coaches, their squads prevailed on the day, and Jalen Hurts came out on the top in terms of being the best quarterback on the field that day. But what kind of vibes were you getting the last couple practices?
I'm getting better vibes about the offense, especially everything that obviously everybody's going nuts over the Jalen Reagor catch, but just the wide receivers in general have all been stepping up. I've seen, I'm really like, even Jawn showed out a little bit today. That was interesting to read. But I mean, Gail, you have the jump start here, man. You had the closest eyes on the field. I need to know, like, what was your key takeaway from being at the practice? What was something that really opened your eyes?
There's just one thing, just playing wide receiver in my past. It's like there's a level of detail to the position that you want to see, and you're seeing Sirianni in his level of detail that he's paying attention closely to these wide receivers. Just he's just lurking, and he's always he's coming up with points to just tuck the ball away, drag your feet. I found a clip. While you're asking, I found a clip from Tim McManus at ESPN. This is kind of like what I've been seeing from him with the wide receivers. It's at the very end, you hear him say drag. Like, it's a great catch by Fulgham, but the level of details, that's where you want these guys to win. You're seeing Quez Watkins. I have another clip here from Quez Watkins against one of Patriots' better corners.
He hit him before.
Nice. Yeah, nice. Now, some of the clips you saw of Quez Watkins running routes, being precise in the precision that he was showing you. Some people laughed at that whole idea of like, oh, whatever. And I feel like, again, we're talking about guys leveling up, and you're talking about Devontae Smith being out, and you're talking about Jalen Hurts mentioning repetition builds confidence, and what you're seeing in these guys right now is confidence. You see Jalen Reagor one-handed catch. I mean, it's all the rage right now. Might as well bring it up.
Yeah.
I mean, this is sick.
Frame by frame.
Yeah, man.
This is very sick.
I mean, that shouldn't be allowed, man.
Yeah, it seems like there's progress every day, and that's what's getting I'm
the excitement is just like really kicking in, man. Just getting all this good news about these receivers, the way they're clicking on practice. Let me just mention though, that push, man, I felt some type of way about that push. Like I got mad, man. Like, yo, as soon as I saw that, I kind of like nudged at the screen, like, yo, what the fuck? Like, come on, man. Yeah. But go ahead. It's my fault.
No, you're good. You're good. I was gonna say it's just like when you're like if you're playing pickup basketball with a bunch of dudes you don't know and you're at the park and they're fouling real hard just because you're beating them, and it's like, dude, like if I can beat you clean, like it just feels that much more glorious. Like I can rub it in your face that much more that you need to try and hard foul, but I still got you.
At the end of it, you know what I mean? I love the fact that Watkins shut him down and made that play on him. But besides all that, like, again, the way these guys are clicking these past couple days, I've heard a couple of them have had started off the practices in a bad way, but here they come the very next day, they make up for the mistakes they made the day prior to that. It's like, again, the way that they're in sync, man, and we haven't heard about this in a long time, and we missed it. I know I missed it. I don't want to speak for you guys, but I know I missed it. I missed the excitement. We were hearing about practices for these past couple of years, and then we're just sitting here like, okay, let's get through these practices. Let's get through these preseasons. Let's get on with the season. Here, I'm day by day just getting any type of news about what these receivers are doing. And then when it came through on, Twitter and Facebook and all social media platforms that Reagor made that catch today, I'm like, damn, here we go. Another key catch, to make, this whole thing exciting. And I'm feeling great, man. I'm feeling great about this offense. I know you mentioned it earlier, Evan, like that's just the thing to talk about. And that's what's good, that we actually can talk about this offense, because come on, I mean, these last couple of years, they haven't given us a reason to talk about anything.
Well, let's be honest here, ladies and gentlemen. Is it any surprise that I'm jacked up? And I'm getting more and more jacked every damn practice. We have been singing down from the heavens on people. Please give this offense a chance. Jalen Reagor, Quez Watkins, looking at the things they've done these past few months, that they were working on their route running, working on everything, every little detail that they need to. And people, I don't want to see this. I hate that. And it's like, look, dude, if you don't want to watch this, don't, please, because this is the time when the real men get to dig in. And, dude, we've been digging in, and it feels like my stomach's full. Dude, we have been waiting to see these things. And, Gail, you had posted something earlier in the day, practice makes perfect. And that was something I was ringing myself. And it's like, look, dude, if they're doing it in training, if they're doing it in practice, well, sometimes that just translates into the games. So we're not sitting here saying we won the Super Bowl. He had a great catch in practice. No, but we're headed in the right direction. We had a great offseason. How he killed it with the cap, how he killed it with the draft. We have been doing really well. And believe it or not, looks like Coach Sirianni might be a pretty damn good coach. I really like what Jonathan Gannon's doing with the multiple schemes, multiple fronts. I'm getting myself pretty excited every single day. And, we've been trying to spread that brotherly love around to get people to get jacked up, and you're seeing more of it. And I want to tell all of you out there, I love you and thank you, because we need to get that momentum going. Show these guys that we have their back. That's our only job as fans, literally. That's all we got to do. Show these dudes we got their support. They have social media now, man. They see it. Dude, they're ready to ride. We got a true leader in Jalen Hurts. I'm going to go punch through this wall real quick. I'll be right back. No, I'm kidding.
Now, shout out to all the people in the chat. Shout out to Moneybags. He says, we need Gail or one of you guys that practice every day. Make it happen. We'd like to make that happen.
Yes, please.
Shout out to Joey Santiago, Mark Bird, JC Novacek, Brad Joran, Bryant Walden, Kevin Trump, Joe Cordero, Mr. Cross is here, Kevin Hahn. He says, I'm listening. Let's see. Brian's in here. And Todd. Appreciate.
How are you guys feeling out there, man? Because I'm jacked.
Shout out to you, Frank.
Jimmy, what's got you so amped right now, Jimmy? Like, what in particular really lit the fuse today?
Well, what did we talk about? Having patience, right, through these times, because there's going to be a lot of things happening. There will be good things. There will be bad things, maybe some injuries. All of those things have happened. Devontae Smith got banged up, so we're a little worried, but he's coming back gradually. He's back on the field. Gail's talking about seeing him in pads. Jalen Reagor's out there. He's improving. Quez Watkins is improving. You're like, wait, when they're all on the field at the same time with Miles Sanders and Dallas, Zach Ertz, like, I don't know if Ertz will be here, but regardless, the more the merrier. And we already felt kind of comfortable with the D because the defense just sucked. So, it was like, hey, can't get any worse. Gym shorts out here with this picket fence. Yeah, I am really excited for Jonathan Gannon, but, Evan and, Prime just mentioned it. The offense has finally got them excited. Now, I've been somebody under the radar just, and maybe I get a little ahead of myself here, but I love Jalen Reagor and I'm still holding on to hope for him. So to see him doing this, I know it's going to build his confidence. So I'm really excited for him as a human being and just seeing as a player. And I hope he grows from this. I hope Thursday, that the snaps he gets, he balls out. And I hope that, it's Smith, Reagor, Watkins, throw in Moore, whoever, dude. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a serious trio right there. And then like Brian had mentioned earlier, like that's the same catch that he had against Slay. Mm-hmm. Hey, you're absolutely right. But let's just think about it. We all remember when OBJ made that catch, and then we didn't see a catch like that till like a long way down the line. I mean, we're talking about days in between the last time he made this catch. So it's like he's getting accustomed, and and they got something in the works to go ahead and make this, a key thing into the season. So that's why I'm excited hearing about the catch again. Like, damn. And then on top of that, he did it against a Patriots defender. So, of course I'm going to be happy about that. So hey, that's where the excitement is kicking in.
And honest, okay. Sorry. I just wanted to get in real quick. Just the fact that like we have been so amped this entire offseason for Devontae Smith, and the fact that we are sitting here like just as amped for these other guys that are stepping up. Like we've got guys like Jalen Reagor and Quez Watkins that like we couldn't be more excited about to see them play in a game. And so if we're going into this season with like 3 wide receivers deep about guys that we think can actually have like a career year and pop off like that can be an explosive offense. And then you mix in all these running backs and like, we're going to get into it a little bit, but with Kerryon Johnson getting cut, that just means that Jordan Howard and everybody else is just performing that much better. That I don't think anybody really was anticipating Kerryon Johnson being a part of at least the first cuts, maybe a part of getting cut before the start of the season, but the first cut that kind of caught me by surprise. And I get
cuts happen.
He's gonna get cut.
One thing
hurt.
Yeah, and one thing you don't want to cut is like your region down there. So I mean, perfect time to segue. Talk about Attention listeners across the galaxy, all the way from Australia to Houston. Do we have a pew problem? If so, our friends at Manscaped have cleared you for takeoff with their 4th generation and brand new Lawnmower 4.0. I kick your pubes to the next planet with the Performance Package 4.0. The orbits in your pants will feel like you're going in zero gravity when you use the best tools from this job, from the leaders of male grooming. Join the 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped and get your rocket ready for takeoff by going manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping with the code FANSIDED20.
Fellas, ladies, whoever's listening, I am privileged enough to be heading to Sin City in a couple days. And if there's one thing I plan on doing, it is flopping my bald eagle all over the strip. I wouldn't be able to do that without Manscaped. So I'm ready for an out of this world experience. Look no further than the Performance Package 4.0 from Manscaped that has just taken off not only in the US, Canada, the UK, and across Europe, Australia, South Africa, and Singapore. Inside this package, you'll find the Lawnmower 4.0, the Weed Whacker, ear and nose hair trimmer, the Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance Boxer briefs, and a travel bag to fit your whole solar system. Talk about a package prime.
The Lawnmower 4.0 also has a 4000K LED spotlight you can turn on and off when needed for a more precise shave throughout your travels across the universe, especially as travels. The Performance Package 4.0 also includes the Weed Whacker. It's like having a little astronaut to chop your worst weeds up top in your nose and ears.
Don't forget to use Crop Preserver, ball deodorant, and their Crop Reviver to help your little planets be on their A-game while feeling the sun's heat. Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts to their Performance Package 4.0, the Manscaped Boxers and the Shed Travel Bag. Abort hairy balls and Buzz Lightyear that Woody with Manscaped. Get 20% off plus free shipping with code FANSIDED20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code FANSIDED20 at manscaped.com. For a clean trinity and beyond, your space balls will thank you.
Oh, everyone loves a Manscaped announcement, but there's other kinds of announcements some players don't like to hear is when they get cut. And the Eagles announced that they waived Casey Tucker. He had a biceps injury, tackle Casey Tucker. They also waived Luke Juriga, center. He had an ankle injury. And Kerryon Johnson, one of the names that might stand out. And you think about this running back group. We talked about it. And we talked about our biggest concerns were could Kerryon Johnson carry his Johnson, and he's injured. And
Fanside
here,
at manscaped.com.
So this is what it looks like to me right now. Miles Sanders, he's holding down the fort. We know he's our 3-down back. A guy out of I'm not gonna say nowhere. He showed up ready to compete. Jordan Howard, he's going to give you that ground and pound, run that inside zone with fierceness. We have Boston Scott, who I think it will be that change of pace guy and effective in passing downs. The Rook, Kenneth Gainwell, definitely he's a weapon in space. And now we're getting down to the back end here. You have Jace Huntley. Special teams, his ability to break off some runs here and there. He's shown his speed and he's flashing. And then, Elijah Holyfield, where I just don't, again, looks like he's headed for the practice squad, if that is the case. I mean, so how do you guys feel about the running back room right now? I know Kerryon Johnson, we all were hoping that would work out, but again, knee injuries, it's not a good look for him in his history.
I really think that the story of the year, maybe I'm overstepping that, but the story of this running back class is Jordan Howard to me. I mean, Jordan Howard was a guy that I was anticipating maybe fighting for that running back 4 position when we were coming into training camp. If you look at what he did last year, he just wasn't able to get anything going. There's a few goal line touchdowns he had. I think he even had like 3 touchdowns in one game, but they were all like from the 1-yard line. So like he was a guy that it didn't seem like he had any juice left. And we were just going to kind of see what he had in this training camp. And he has been a complete surprise to me between his blocking, between just him being able to break off big runs. Jordan Howard has really, really impressed and earned that second spot in the rotation. So with him behind Miles Sanders, I'm feeling very confident. I still haven't seen much of Kenny G. I mean, granted, he's a rookie, but like I'm excited to see what he'll sprinkle into the mix. And I know if we're going up against the Giants, then we could just send in our secret weapon in Boston Scott. So we're living.
I mean, you nailed it. The key thing is like I was also big on Jordan Howard. I mean, I was excited the fact that we signed Kerryon Johnson. It was another, it was a plus to this running back core. But if we had to make a decision, my 4 was going to be Miles Sanders, Jordan Howard, Gainwell, and Boston Scott. I feel that those 4 right there are going to be the legit core going into the season. It's a shame it didn't work out for Kerryon Johnson, but I really wish him the best wherever he ends up ending up at. But I'm good. I'm confident with this one. I mean, it's definitely a step up from where we've been at. So I think these guys will be fine. And the key thing is just everybody staying healthy. And if that's not the case, at least it's the next man up mentality. And, I think we can confine in all 4 of them if they need to step up somewhere else.
Well, I think the question was, it came down to all offseason we talked about once Jordan Howard came back, ecstatic about that. And I love to hear what he had to say on a personal note. From the mental aspect, he kind of just gave up in a sense, when he got to Miami and they told him they didn't have a place for him, kind of got down on himself. And to hear him, try to rise up. And I think this is the perfect kind of system with the perfect coach. And people are really down on, Sirianni being positive. I love it. I love the fact that he wants to be positive and he wants these guys to be positive and win. I definitely don't want to be negative and lose. So I love that he's helping these young men become better people. He's 26 years old, dude. Jordan Howard's still young. And we talked about that when we signed him. People, why would he be back? Dude, makes sense. But then when you claimed Kerryon Johnson, oh man, it was awesome because these 2 are going to have to compete against each other. I thought it was going to be great to see in the offseason, the preseason. Unfortunately, we talked about Kerryon Johnson and Jordan Howard, both of their health issues. So whoever was going to stay healthy was going to get the job. So Kerryon Johnson, he gets hurt. week to week. And I made a video as soon as it was happening. I said, that's going to be the surprise cut this coming 85. We're going to cut Kerryon Johnson. If he got hurt, that's it. You can't have a guy here that continues to have knee injuries and then miss it. You're going to get rid of Huntley or Jordan Howard? No, you're not going to do that. And Huntley has had a great camp so far. He looked good in the preseason game I watched. Gainwell, everything I've watched from him, I'm freaking ecstatic about him. Moving him outside, inside when it comes to receivers, but outside of the running back, So I think using him in the return game everywhere they can, this rookie's going to get his fair share. He was running with the ones today. So this running back room, I'm very happy with the 4 that we all mentioned here. Miles Sanders, stay healthy. Love that. Boston Scott, Jordan Howard, and Kenny Gainwell. Hell yeah. I think the question just now is, do we really keep 5 with Jason Huntley because he has that great return ability? But I love it, man, because there's but we could keep another receiver, but the tight end. So it's exciting to be excited about the young men on this team right now. And I love the running back room.
Here we have something else that Eagle fans should be excited about. We here at 4th and Jawn are trying to get you to preseason. So we are doing a ticket giveaway. If you want to go to the preseason game, if you head over to our Twitter page, all you have to do in the comments is be a follower and in the comment tag somebody. Hopefully that person you tag is the person you bring, because that's a douchebag move. You tag somebody and you don't bring them to the game. So if you want to go to the preseason game, all you have to do is go to our Twitter page, follow us, put a comment, tag one of your friends.
Go subscribe to the YouTube channel too, if you would. That'd be great.
Yes,
we would appreciate it.
So Evan's going to Vegas, and that's why he's been trimming his Johnson. And Prime, we all know Prime is about to get married. He's about to get married, and he's doing the big thing. So he's got things that he's planning ahead of the time. So we're gonna let him do that. He's gonna be more responsible. Wifey's probably in the chat somewhere. You have a responsible husband. I just want to let you know. But I mean, what are you guys looking forward to this Thursday? I mean, I feel like me personally, I thought I got everything I needed to see out of Jalen Hurts. We talked about the intermediate game. I wanted a quick strike game, got the screen. I saw people pop off that I was expecting something to happen from. We got some from Quez. We saw the new youth movement at tight end and Dallas Goedert. The connection, Jalen Hurts throwing guys open, like leading wide receivers. That's a cool thing. I know he missed one, so everyone's going to remember that one that he missed. But again, I just feel like, what do you guys want to see on Thursday?
I want to see a disruptive defensive line. I want to see a defensive line that is, because we've been like gassing these guys up, and I think that we do have a good defensive line rotation. I love the addition, all the practice footage that I've been seeing out of Milton Williams and everything. I want to see it come into fruition now. I want to see a defensive line that can burst through in any gap. I want to see them get to the quarterback with ferociousness, with speed. I want to see them with hands in the quarterback's face, getting their hands on the balls. I just want to see a complete defensive attack from our front.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. Crostez, do you think Hurts plays at least a quarter Thursday?
Well, that's kind of where I was going to go. My excitement is, think of it this way, with 4 preseason games that we had, previously forever that I can remember, it's now 3. So usually in the 3rd game, you have your starters out there for a lot of teams, half the game. So with this being the second to last preseason game, do we run out the starters more? That was a question I got a lot today. And I think, yes, you're going to see a fair share of a lot of these ones, Quez Watkins, things like that, getting their snaps in, because in the 3rd preseason game, you're going to see predominantly all the backups. But I think with having these joint practices with the Patriots, this is like glorified practices anyway, with the joint practices and preseason. It's not really a game, So I think this has been great. And Sirianni's doing all he can, getting this competition with other teams, other just systems he can work in when there's no cameras, things like that you can't even do in preseason. So he might not need to, but I think we'll get a nice chunk of some of these guys. Maybe not like someone like Jalen Hurts and Miles Sanders, but I think you'll get a good chunk of the ones.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to seeing, just a little bit more from the offense, but I agree with Evan, man. It's the defense turn. It's definitely time for them to go ahead and pump it up a little bit. I would definitely see a lot more out of them. Maybe throw some blitz in there. Just try something. It's preseason. You know what I mean? Go ahead and, let's have fun with it, and let's see what we could go ahead and expect going into the season. So I would hope to see that defensive line do their thing. Linebackers, Alex Singleton, like I said, that first preseason game, I just feel like the dude is just lighting it up, man. He
goes
looks
to
fast
there.
The new Nate
listen,
Gary.
man. He looks faster.
He spotted a new linebacker.
He looks faster, man. The guys, he's got some spark in him, man. I'm loving it. You know what I mean? So, big ups to him going into this season. And I think the expectation is going to be extreme, with him lining up, going after that quarterback or, playing that position so well. I think he's really going to be, that shine in that defense. So that's what I'm looking forward to this Thursday. But at the end of it all, just please be healthy and get out of that game safely.
And what would really and maybe I'm asking for too much here, but what would really help settle my nerves too is a interception from one of the cornerbacks, specifically a Steven Nelson or Zach McPherson interception would just have me on cloud nine.
Does it count for me if Zach McPherson gets a pick six in the preseason? I don't.
Hey, listen,
it counts in my heart and where I feel about this team.
All right. Can I piggyback off what you said though, Evan? Yeah. I want to see this defensive line desperately, but that kind of takes out from what Prime's asking for, because I think you got to, and we realize that it's preseason, but we're not going to run out here with Jonathan Gannon's real defense. We're not going to show the blitzes and the schemes we're going to be running to attack these people. So one thing I was listening to with the pressers that I really liked was they weren't blitzing, they said, because they want to see that defensive line. They want to see these guys win those one-on-one matchups. And then if you could see who these beasts are, Milton Williams and whoever, then when you're blitzing in the real game, holy shit. So Prime, I'm with you in that excitement that I can't wait to see this defense finally blitzing. We've been dying for years to get back to that. So I can't wait either, but we might have to wait a couple more weeks, but it will be there. It definitely will be there.
Absolutely.
I'm excited about this defensive front of ours. Again, Eagle fans are like, our offensive line is having issues. Maybe our damn defensive line is pretty good because they're murdering the Patriots offensive line. They can't contain them.
Can you do me a favor? Can you throw Gannon's picture up there one more time, man? Can I just see that one more time? Like, look at that look, man. That dude looks like a fucking defensive coordinator.
That guy's focused.
Oh
He's
my
focused,
God, man.
He's focused, man.
Yo.
Yep.
He did. I was listening to his presser earlier, and just his demeanor and his vibe. He really does bring this future head coach vibes to me, and I just like the way that he's the practices that he's envisioned for his defense. He said it's showing up, and that the thing that excites me is whatever he's teaching and the way he's applying it is working, and that's got to be exciting for me. And every time I think about our defensive front, and then in the back of my mind is Milton Williams, who was looking in person. This bro, I was sitting there, I was like, this guy's a grown ass man. This dude is like when you look at
you go to Wendy's. Cox. You go to Wendy's with Milton Williams. How much does he order?
I think the whole menu.
The whole menu.
And he's still getting dessert. Because you see Fletcher Cox, and he's just so much bigger than everybody in the defensive line group or just in the defensive unit. And then you see Milton Williams, he's just gigantic. Another guy who's gigantic, Landon Dickerson, man. That dude is just big for no reason. His cleats are the size of 3 men. I just feel like he's like a big kid, and everyone's just looking at him just man, this guy's he's not participating right now fully or anything, but just seeing him there, you're just this guy could be the future. But
yeah. Yes. He will be the future, man. That's why we drafted him. That's
for
why
sure.
We drafted him where we did.
We'll have Kelsey forever, and he's got that attitude that you just said. He's a cool guy to be around. From everything I've heard, they just make him seem like a really fun guy. So I'm excited. Milata in the future, dude. Like these young dudes, Irby is apparently hilarious. Jack Driscoll, they're all good young kids, and dude, that's our future. So I'm pretty excited because we're going to be left. We've been very spoiled these past few years. We've got some greats on this damn line.
Yeah, you were like a little kid in that playground like yesterday, huh?
Oh my God! How about it, Gail? Why are you not telling us more about?
Yeah,
this
like that's
that's what the people want to hear.
I called you earlier today just to find out how that went. Like, speak up on it. Let's go.
First and foremost, a shout out to Ross Tucker. Got to hang with him for a quick second, and it was just cool that he was just like he remembered me from the tailgate. He's like, "Oh man, it's cool that you guys are down here." And I was like, "Bro, man, it's great to see you. Hope you have a good Thursday." I mean, he's doing a great job calling these games, but it's cool to meet people in the community. I met some people who listen to the show there, and just getting the vibe of like what training camp is. And then you get to see it for yourself. So it's all you take all what people said, and you're trying to apply it. You're seeing the beat writers who some guys get they get heckled by some of these fans, but when you see these guys putting in the work, and I've seen a lot of these guys that are beat writers put in the work. That's how they got here. So I give respect to those guys doing their job. So. But it's cool to watch. I put out a Quez Watkins, that Quez Watkins cut, and that thing's got like 60,000 views on it. It shows the hunger of what people, our fan base, are actually looking for in these practices. They're so hungry to find any little nugget. I'm getting people from Patriots camp reaching out, like, "What are you seeing? Send me some of your videos." And it's great to just talk about, everyone's so excited about this team. People are excited about who's going to get cut, who might we pick up. I know DJ Daniels got cut by the Jags. Maybe we could put him on the squad somehow. He's an alumni of the Talk to Prospect, but it's just this, the excitement level is there, and the fans, Eagle fans love it, man. They just love it. And I think that Thursday, I think Eagle fans, if we have another performance out of this group, like we're not looking at the, Steeler fans were like pumping their chest.
Nothing, man.
It was their Super Bowl.
It's all about what you see when the starters are out there. That's what matters.
Yeah, like the way I felt after our first unit left the field, I was like, bro, this is great. Yep. This is great. Like, just even Milata had alluded to it in his presser. He's just like, Lane said he's going to be dominant. If he keeps what he's doing, he's going to be dominant for years to come. And Milata was like, Lane said that about me? Like, it was like one of those proud moments where he's just like, really? He said that about me? Like, and he's like, and he spoke to like being taken out in the first quarter and how like he wanted to go out there and play because he's not used to being taken off the field and then not being out there with this guy. So this whole connective, being connected and the unity that they're pumping into this team. Yeah, I feel like I feel like they're buying in. I'm not even for real. Like the vibes that I was getting, like Jalen Mills was on the field. All the Eagles players were collectively talking shit together to Jalen Mills. Like, good. Shut up, man. Shut up. And someone mentioned in the comments like Kayvon Wallace talking shit to Cam Newton. This is like everyone's talking shit and they're backing it up. So I mean, I feel like there's this camaraderie that's building. After practice, we're talking like 20 half hour after practice. You got Jalen Rager, and you have I believe it was Greg Ward, and it was Devontae Smith, all working on releases. Just 10 minutes of just releases, and you're seeing Devontae move. Like, all right, he's healthy, he's ready to go, look hungry, but that whole thing, I mean, they just putting in the work, man. And it's like the whole after practice vibes thing. That's becoming a real time thing. Milata talked about working out with Wilson he talked about the camaraderie that they built in the off season. Like 8 or 9 guys stayed in Philly to work, and he said now after practice, him and Wilson work out together. He's a linebacker and he's a left tackle, but they're practicing on next level, trying to get to the next level, and
strength is strength.
Yeah, man, those kind of stories, like I pick up on those things, and I'm like, all right, that means that they're really they're dialed in right now.
Yeah, and this is all. I love it, man. This is exactly how I want my team to be acting as we're heading into the season, because this was not the case last year. It was all discombobulated. People were at each other's throats. We had a quarterback that would pass wide receivers in the hallway and not even look at them. We have got a team now we've got a team. We've got an actual team that is willing to work for each other. Brothers, exactly right. They've got the right mentality. I want this all to translate, man. I want everything that we're saying to actually come into fruition in the regular season, because I mean, the more and more we hype this team up, the more and more I get hyped up, the higher my expectations get. I was going into this like a couple of months ago. I'm like, I'll be happy.
I think we all were. You know what I mean? We all were.
So, not me. The closer we get to this season,
I've been excited.
I'm like, man, I'm trying to bite my tongue, but I'm feeling pretty good about this team.
Here's the thing, Evan. If you temper your expectations for this year, like we've talked about for months, the reason I've been able to stay excited is because if the certain steps happened, that's how I stay excited. So he got the cap right. He got the draft, did all the things we talked about. It's like, okay, now we work on developing these players throughout this year. How do these young guys look? How do they work together? So far in training camp, I'm already seeing the progression here. So when we get to the regular season, if it translates into over 500 team, I'm going to be pretty damn excited. But I'm not going into the season like, we have to win the NFC East for me to be happy. I'm expecting some bumpy roads. This is a new team. My excitement comes from how we've been building, because the last few years, it's been a dumpster fire. We've been talking about Jacina Anderson and the Ghost of Christmas Past talking shit. So I am done. I want to see this team grow, be brothers, have each other's backs. When you saw Jalen Mills was talking shit to Mailata, he said it almost got to Myles Garrett level kind of fight. So it must have been pretty intense. Jalen Reagor apparently ran over to Mailata's side, which is hilarious. But dude, that's awesome. These guys are sticking up for each other. They're brothers. So for me, that's how I've able to stay excited, because Sirianni, I don't care what people have said. Soon as he had that press conference, I could see it in him. He loved the game. And now seeing what he's been doing with the players, his hands-on approach, it's exactly what, he sounded like. So yeah, I'm excited, but just temper your expectations, ladies and gentlemen. We can all have fun. Lots of touchdowns, takeaways, the hit system, Oh yeah, let's go Birds.
Now Kyle has a question here. He says, "I might."
He didn't want to come in the other room and ask that.
Oh, that's
it's my roommate.
Hey, what's up, roomie? So he says, "I might have missed it because I might have been downstairs or something." But your guys' feeling about Coach wanting
wrong
Smith.
Kyle.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy doesn't even know his own.
There you go.
Kyle O'Brien. So the question is, he said, I might have missed it, but what are your guys' feeling about Coach wanting Smith to play this preseason? I think it's important for him to get reps, and it's also important to get that juice and get him ready for the season. I mean, if you think about it, if he's okay, he said he's close to being 100%. If he's close to being 100%, get him some reps out there. If he plays them on Thursday, me selfishly, I will enjoy it. It's a sprain, Nate. He said he's close to. You guys feeling okay about that?
Yeah, I mean, I love the attitude regardless, because of the fact that here he can't do much, but he's still practicing. He's still putting on the gear. He's still out on the field making catches. All right, even if it's just working with your hands, but he's still doing something. He's not sitting on his ass. He's not watching everybody else getting it in while he just sits. No, he's finding a way to get out on that field, and I love that, man. I love the push that he has. It's big, man. It's key, and I'm really excited about this kid. So I'm going to be one to go ahead and just say, like, look, I'd rather you take your time. You know your body better than anybody. Take your time, get healthy, and when the time is right, you know what I mean, we'll expect you. But right now, the fact that we have other things catching our mind and our attention, that's why I'm at ease with Devontae Smith. Just taking his time to get ready.
I mean,
Now-
if I don't want to be selfish or anything, man. I'm not like, I don't want to risk Devontae Smith's injury just to see what he has in the preseason. But I'm a big believer in the fact that you need to get up to game speed. And I really don't care as far as like if you are the number 1 pick in the draft or you're the last pick in the draft. Like, I think that Devontae Smith has the skill set to be elite in this league. But that doesn't mean that I like going into his first season. I want him to get those reps in. I fear like things like soft tissue injuries, all those sorts of things that we've had in years past with Doug Peterson, when, you know, guys aren't getting the right amount of time in the preseason and the training camp. So, yeah, I don't want to risk him and risk further injury. But at the same time, there's that healthy balance where I feel like he does need to get up to game speed before we just thrust him in week 1.
Good point.
Exactly.
Shout out to Rome. He says he wants no banana routes. He said he's liking what he's seeing from Sirianni and his staff. And I think you do have to credit the staff and what they're doing and what they're trying to apply. You talk about this wide receiver group has had how many wide receiver coaches? The fact that they have Aaron Moorhead still here and doing good things. I think he deserves more. Anyway, if you're following, I just feel like, you know, just seeing them out there, like it's almost like a proud dad. I'm looking at these. I'm like, yo, these dudes actually want it, and they're pushing each other. Those extra reps we talked about with Devontae Smith going down earlier, they've taken advantage of those reps. A guy who, you know, a lot of the beats are kind of like Travis Fulgham. Will the real Travis Fulgham please stand up? Because here you're in a situation where you could have really, you know, shown some
solidified
consistency.
Yeah.
You know, John Hightower, I think a guy who's you're still looking for that consistency. Jaw, who's actually played decent, and we have president of the Jaw fan club here from you know, across the pond, who I still have to ship you your thing. Don't I did not forget. I'm just being lazy. Just going to the post office.
He said that
Come
earlier.
on, lad. Come on, lad.
That roundhouse. You said that earlier today. He was watching the show, and he said about literally the wide receiver factory because of what we've been talking about for months. I don't know how people were not excited when we drafted Devontae Smith at just the thought of it. Now to see it, it's like, yeah, dude, that's where, yeah. So I think Devontae Smith, I 100% agree with what Evan said. When he brought up that factory statement, I said to him earlier today, you don't want him out there to just see him. You want him to knock that rust off. It's not being selfish, right? You want to get him up to game speed. And Doug Peterson did not do that. You try to bubble wrap dudes, and what happens? They get hurt anyway. So it's, if you play football, if you're a tough dude, you're going to get out there, knock off some rust for a couple drives, then you're done. Night's over. Hey, getting back into shape. Good to go. I don't think Sirianni ever said that he needs to get him out there for preseason. He said he will if he's back to 100% health. So there's no, he has to or anything like that. But I think, you know, with these joint practices, he'll get enough reps against other people that you don't necessarily have to play him in the preseason.
Now, King Austin 6 from YouTube has a direct question at Prime. He says, Prime, do you like Barnett?
Were you there for that hit, Gail?
Oh,
were you at that practice?
I was trying to like look at both fields at the same time.
There's like 3 of them or something.
It gets difficult at sometimes. You're just like, I was like, I'll stand in the middle of both fields. I was like, but Barnett he's been having a great camp. And Sweat, they're both having a great camp. And then you don't even, an afterthought is Kerrigan. So in terms of think about this defensive line, an afterthought is Kerrigan. Who else was an afterthought? Chris Long was an afterthought.
Michael Bennett.
Yep, Michael.
I mean, that's, and then Javon, Mr. Javon has looked pretty damn good, man. Like we've been talking about everybody, but that dude, he's been dominating as well. So, I mean, it's a good problem, man.
I feel like we keep on talking about like everybody's down. Who is underperforming on this team? In reality, like, I'm not trying to joke around.
Travis Fulgham was mentioned. He has not stepped it up. I think there's been people that have had struggles, but some people overlook them. I think standing out wise, there's not anybody that really, other than Elijah Holyfield and Travis Fulgham, that really stick out to me as like, you're just not going to be here.
Yeah.
I mean, well, Dillard, we all know that Dillard had his, struggles, and then he got injured, and I was like, oh man, this is where I wanted to see Dillard play. Like, I just wanted to see rep. Like, and again, like going back to Jalen Hurts' presser, he says, repetitions build confidence, and we all might laugh at it, or Mr. I could have played football guy is out here saying that I could have done. Like, the confidence is a huge issue, man. Like, this is next level. The next level, they all know what they did to get to the league. You had to do something great.
Mm-hmm.
Now the next level is all mental. Like, it seems like these guys are really, some guys are struggling with their mentals, and some guys aren't. But I mean, for one, today, it's weird to say that Jalen Reagor's catch made my day.
Yeah,
like made my day.
Like,
I watched it 50 times, bro. Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
That and all the other veteran wideouts, even like on Twitter or just random, even. All right. Let's be clear here. Des Bryant,
He's
actually mentioned, quote tweeted. He was like, you got Cowboy players, ex-Cowboy players, talking about how great this catch was. So, for our own fan base, someone underneath the comments on Instagram is like, it's practice. Wait till he does it in a game. I said, practice makes perfect. Like, if he's doing it in practice, he did it 2 weeks ago. So that's 2 weeks in a row. Had a solid day yesterday in camp and had a solid day today. So, again, practice makes perfect. This kid is putting in the work. And for me, that's a real positive. So keep building and stacking these days, man. They keep saying it, stacking these days.
1% better. Exactly, dude. Yeah. he was watching the show earlier today too. I showed that clip because people kept, did you see the catch? I'm like, all right, let's play it again. And I had a slow-mo version too, so it's just nice. But dude, I'm ecstatic about it. And that's it. You talked about being happy, what it brings to you. You guys know, I had my little brush in with death there. So I try to have a different perspective at times. Maybe sometimes not always. But look, I try to, be happy. I try to realize, we're blessed to still be here in life. I'm not trying to preach to you here, but the Eagles, as much as they terrorize our souls, I truly do find happiness with my birds and just having that excitement. That's, Evan, this started last year when you came on my show and we talked about new quarterback energy. Really bringing that acronym up, hilarious. But dude, it was, thank God, to get that weight off our shoulders, Carson and Doug, and everything that was happening. And as much as we love those guys, exactly, it was time to turn anew, baby. And I'm really excited about Sirianni and Hurts together. I feel it's the perfect yin and yang. One's the Terminator, one just, hey, Ted Lasso. So I'm ready for this, baby. It might be bumpy, but let's go. Yeah.
Now, Jim says he used to tell my kids, we play like we practice. Let's go. Hey, man, it is like having the perfect practice is great. You know what I mean?
I'm glad that you said perfect practice because you keep on saying practice makes perfect. And there was one saying that I took away from when I was younger. It was perfect practice makes perfect. You can't fuck around in practice. It's
true.
Practice makes perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect.
True.
What's up, sir?
This guy's schooling you.
No, I mean, I think like people dumb it down. Just like, if you practice shitty, that's the way you're gonna perform. Yeah. If you don't like the next man,
could you imagine if we had drops as highlights? Oh my God, everyone's a boss, trade ball. We'd be crying. Oh my God, it would be bad. So yeah, as much as it's just practice, I think those people sometimes forget that. But yeah, it's good to see, right? The growing. You said it. Stack days, 1%, man.
Yep.
Any other players that right now that is sticking out to you that need to be talked about?
I thought this was just an interesting point by Rome, talking about how Dillard, the whole situation kind of has Ben Simmons kind of vibes to it. In the sense that What would Dillard's not shooting a jumper be?
He
Stopping
got
a bull rush.
stronger. Yeah, he
Stopping
got
a bull rush.
stronger.
Yeah.
So he did work on what he was supposed to. He
Yeah.
just
But
got
he's
hurt again.
he's getting bull rushed. I mean, when a dude caves your chest in, there's only one thing to do. It's
But
like,
you said it
look
earlier in the
internally.
video. Sweat is doing that to Mailata too, and I don't think Mailata's bad. I just think Sweat's good.
Sweat's
You
that
know what I
dude,
mean?
right?
no,
Sweat's
I
that
don't
dude.
think Mailata's getting his chest caved in.
2 days ago, he got his ass kicked by Sweat pretty bad, and they
But
were saying that's
his
how
chest
good he
caved
is.
in. When your chest goes concave and then you go to the
I'm
sidelines,
just saying,
and
Josh
you
Sweat's
don't
a
come back
bad.
in.
Josh
You don't
Sweat.
come back in.
Josh Sweat
Like
is a
if-
bad man.
You really gonna break down the difference there, buddy?
I'm telling you. And look,
Yo,
that's
and
the
then
thing.
your
Dillard
chest
has
is
not been that
concave.
bad.
But then your soul is taken as well. I mean, that's
a
another
big
level.
ass dude, man. If he got pushed back, he got pushed back. It didn't
Yeah,
matter
man.
if it was his chest
Sweat has
caved
been
in or not.
fantastic.
Yo,
We
Josh
got to look at
Sweat,
the positive here.
Josh Sweat has gotten bigger,
Yeah.
faster, stronger, dude. Like I'm looking at him like, bro, like this guy put on another layer. Like he's like Wakanda forever out there. Like his shit is like you're just like
Sweater Barnett.
of course Sweat. He's
Okay,
the future.
all right,
He could
all
be
right.
potentially the future out here.
He talked about being more comfortable, adding more moves to his repertoire. He feels like, he can actually go out and be himself. And I'm ecstatic to see him this year.
Adam Michael Gibbs says, I heard Avante is getting victimized in one-on-ones. Worried about Maddox at all?
McPherson.
I just feel like he again, I think he's one of those guys that he's a depth piece.
Yeah.
And regardless of whatever happens, he's a guy that can fill in and give you something. Obviously his size will get picked on a little bit. I think Zach McPherson, if he can be an interchangeable piece, that would be nice. But overall, I still feel like there needs to be another cornerback added to this group.
I agree. I think Avante Maddox is serviceable in the slot. I don't want to see him on the outsides, obviously, but if we're keeping him in the slot and he's more of just, like Gail said, a depth piece, like it's not like I have any problems with him. It's just a matter of like it's not my biggest concern. Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah.
I think that defensive line makes me feel a little more comfortable. It was scary when we didn't have Steve Nelson. I feel a little bit better, but hey, I've said it a million times. Avante Maddox is going to start the year in the slot, but he's not going to hold on to that job for long. I think it's time for Zach McPherson. Unfortunately, it'd be sooner rather than later, but with Steve Nelson signing, it gave McPherson a little more time to learn outside, and he'll learn inside. So I think this is great for his future. And if Avante struggles, we're lucky. We've got a kid in the weight. And, maybe Josiah Scott tries to push his way on the roster to, maybe take that nickel spot before McPherson's ready. But Gail nailed it. Avante Maddox is your defensive back. He helps as a free safety and nickel back, and I'm comfortable. Your fourth, fifth guy, but not as a starter. I don't feel he's that guy.
Now we got a question from Twitter from Why Are We Like That? He says, can JJ get cut this year? And that's an interesting question. If you're talking about J Jaw, you're talking about him playing on the slot these days. And if they're trying to use him as a piece that, he's a guy that can box out, if they're trying to like find this kind of role for him, we're talking about mismatches. I mean, that's what the league's about. I mean, even Greg Ward talked about it. Like he's like 25 pounds more, bigger than he is. So
yeah,
he's a different kind of slot guy. Like right now, I mean, on paper, like, yeah, I know people have mentioned stuff about Greg Ward maybe being. Greg Ward plays special teams, and that guy can be a serviceable punt returner if you need him. And those kind of guys are important. He's a guy that can move the sticks. You could trust him on a big fourth play, game-winning drive catch. You can trust him on those kind of things. And he's a guy that's been a veteran presence. Like we talk about a veteran presence to the group. He's the guy that was here as a practice squad player who worked his way onto the squad, got cut multiple years, and he's still here. He's still here. So
he's a great example to the rest of the team about just if you work your ass off, it doesn't matter where you came from, you earn your spot.
Absolutely.
He said he still does not. He hasn't gotten the "I'm not a quarterback" out of him yet. But he
Good.
says it does help.
Good.
He says it
I'd
does.
like to see a little trick.
He says it does help him when he's out there trying to recognize coverages and finding the sweet spots of the zone. I mean, as a quarterback, that's the kind of things you look for. But look, talking about the wide receiver group, and you got Devontae, you got Jalen Reagor, you have Quez Watkins, we have Travis Fulgham. We're at 4 guys. That
I would
fifth
put
guy,
Ward instead of Fulgham
well,
as a lock.
okay, yeah,
As a lock.
yeah. I mean, Ward. These are my 5 kind of. Fulgham is,
Yeah,
you know,
for me too.
He's there, but I'm like, I need more. I would feed Fulgham on Thursday. I would like, yo,
Yep.
we're gonna feed you. So I mean, Hightower, we keeping 6?
Hightower hasn't shown me much of anything. This
I was big. Yeah, I was big
he's
on
hurt
him last
too.
year.
So it's like it's between
Yeah,
for
I
me.
mean,
It's between
he's the
Fulgham,
guy-
Hightower, and Arthega-Whiteside. It's one of those bigger guys.
and if you're hurt, you
That's your
can't do
fifth.
much to state
exactly. So
Can't
Fulgham,
make the
Gail
club
just said it.
Yeah.
He's got to go out and ball. Fulgham has to prove that he belongs here because, yay, it's great. He did that last year on the scrub team. But, dude, you've got talented guys here, so you got to win that job.
Now, Mr. Puga from El Paso, the biggest Eagles fan in El Paso, also, biggest fan of porta potties. If you know, you know. He says, "What about Tyree Jackson? Solid third tight end. I think, again, he's really impressed. I think
Really
he's developing as we go. We're seeing him develop right in front of our eyes. I think
Quickly.
his ability to make some of these catches, he's been making them. I think as a blocker, he can still get better. I think he needs to be showcased. I want to see as much as we can from him.
Gun to your head right now. Tyree Jackson or Dick Rod makes the team.
Tyree.
Tyree.
He's got too much promise, man. You can't let him walk.
I'm saying both.
Dick Rod has proven it in the
Yeah, I'm
past.
saying both.
Let me come back at you,
saying
Evan.
both.
I think
I'm
it
saying
comes
both.
down to Zach Ertz. Is Zach Ertz here? Because for me, he's still up in the air if
Every
he's
day
here.
that passes, I am more and more convinced Zach Ertz is
If
gonna
you
be
get
here
rid of
this
Ertz,
season.
would you be okay with just Dick Rod? Now you've got me saying it.
No,
Would you be
that's
okay
not-
with Goddard, Rogers, and damn it, and Tyree Jackson and
Fan-sided
Jack
20.
Stoll? Would you keep 4 of them? Because without Ertz, then it's like a little more questionable. But I think you got to keep 3, and I'd be okay with Goddard, Ertz, and Tyree Jackson.
Well, I say you keep 4 and you dangle with Ertz. Like, and if I was very sad to hear that Zach Ertz was there with his wife talking to Bill Belichick. And like, it was almost like bring your wife to work day and you're meeting Bill Belichick.
You mean bring Prime's wife to work day?
Yeah.
And that's I was feeling bad for Prime, not just as an Eagles fan. I was like, if Julie leaves the roster, that's not good for Prime. I mean, he's
They were interested in him.
Look at the face. Prime is like, how can I go on? Then he's like, I'm getting married this week. That's how I'm gonna. I could dig, like, again. No, I'm not trying to trade Ertz and get him, kick him out the door. But I feel like if there's a vibe where they're trying to improve this team. But the thing is, we talked about it off air, is like Zach Ertz's connection with Jalen Hurts is growing. Dallas Goedert's connection they've stayed after practice and we're working on some things. I feel like there's a good vibe that could be developed. I would have loved to see him catch that ball last week and move the sticks. But it is what it is. But the vibe is growing and continue to grow with the group. So, Jock Talk. Here we are. Let's see. Why are we like this? He says, any interest in Josh Rosen as a QB3? This guy has been passed around.
No interest in Josh Rosen as my water boy.
No, as a third, as QB3. I mean, we talked about Pick Mullins. Right?
Statement stands, pal.
Pick Mullins.
Okay, I think Josh
Mullins has to
equally
redeem himself on Thursday.
So you wouldn't mind? You wouldn't like Josh Rosen?
No.
They always say the pre-draft stuff about players. Is the pre-draft stuff real about Josh Rosen, that he is really tough to deal with behind the scenes? Because I mean, he's been on multiple teams. I mean, you talk about trying to get a roster spot, like he's not even on a team at this moment.
Yeah. And what wasn't he famously saying too that
Rome says we all have one that got away from.
It's all good. All good.
I don't want Josh Rosen because I don't want to hear how he's going to be the starting quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't want any more controversy. I just want Nick Mullins to stop sucking for 2 stupid preseason games, and then he can be cut, and we're on our way.
I pity the fool that talks about Rosen being the starting quarterback.
They would. Everybody would. Did you know that he was just like Carson Wentz? Nope.
Well, I mean, could Nick Mullins be different behind a first-team offensive line? This is another.
He could be. Come on, lad. Come on.
No, because I'm saying there's certain type of QBs that need full protection. Like, you talk about Jalen Hurts, who could use his mobility and do other things and move the pocket and do other things. If he's a guy that needs to be protected,
hey, he's playing with backup.
Could he be serviceable for one game? But I don't know. Timothy Bragdon, shout out to Timothy, Mr. NFL Films. Again, if you haven't congratulated Timothy, he's working at NFL Films, and he's
nice.
He's enjoying the fruits of his labor. I'm talking about all the film. Bro. He was talking about the amount of film that he can watch on anything. You're gonna be our inside guy on the inside. But he had a question. He said, what's up, fellas? Could see Jackson on the practice squad if Ertz isn't traded prior.
You won't make it.
I don't.
He gets picked up quick.
He gets plucked for sure.
We lost that. We lost Noah last year.
Yep, Noah's a guy, and you did it with Casey Toohill. If you make that same mistake, I will throat punch Howie Roseman myself.
Wow. Okay. Aggressive.
You can't lose out on Tyree Jackson. I'm just very adamant about that.
Aggressive.
Tyree Jackson gives me Trayvon Grimes vibes.
No, don't do that. I made fun of him earlier today because everybody's like, "Oh, Jalen Reagor sucks and he's the worst," but then it's Trayvon Grimes is the greatest I've ever seen. And you're like, dude, this dude literally never stepped on the field. And okay, kills me.
Robe says, protection, vision, arms, legs. Hey, but at least he doesn't throw like Ben DiNucci from the Cowboys.
Holy shit, he's pretty bad.
Mr. Uncle Rico. Jock Talk says, Belichick will pick up Jackson. He won't make the practice. He's not. If you put him on the practice squad, he's gone.
Mm-hmm. And he has a great point. It would totally be the Patriots because they've seen the work and they love tight ends. So that would totally be it.
Also to mention, if you guys weren't here earlier in the show and if you're just rolling around into the show, we are having a ticket giveaway for preseason Thursday. All you have to do is follow us on 4th and Jawn, and in the comments, tag someone on Twitter. Okay. If you want tickets to preseason, that's your easiest way to go. There will be an open practice on Sunday. We will be doing a giveaway for that as well. We'll be giving away tickets for that. I don't know if you guys missed the first open practice, but this is your second opportunity to be out there. And I have to say, we'll wait until Mr. Puga's question here. He says, "Who's the greatest Eagles preseason player?"
Bradford, 11 for 11, going to the Super Bowl. I still remember it.
Too much,
Sammy Sleeves. Sammy Sleeves.
Old sleeve bag.
Paul Turner is on the honorable mention list.
Hey, Paul Turner's a good one. Paul Turner's
always out there.
Trying to think of who else.
GJ Kinney's my dude.
Oh,
GJ Kinney, nice.
Turn wide receiver, quarterback, turn wide receiver.
Yeah, he was just a gadget, tiny little fella out there, but he made plays, man. It was awesome to watch him.
Raheem Mostert. Raheem Mostert did really good.
Deion Lewis, I liked here too.
I can't remember. I can't remember his name, but the guy, the one that made the Phantom.
Greg Salas. You guys remember Greg Salas?
I do.
I do.
Who are you asking about? Didn't he go to the Jets then?
Yeah,
I think he's still on.
He did go to the Jets. The guy that did the Phantom tackle. Do you guys recall that tackle that the one guy just threw himself to go try to make a tackle?
I don't remember that guy.
He made a Phantom tackle. The receiver or the running back was like 3-4 yards way ahead of him, and he decides to throw himself like if he wanted to tackle.
Wow. We all did, Rome. We all did.
Hank Basket. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
The one that's married
Good
to that
regular season
Playboy.
game,
Yeah.
Oh man, that was
If
the only
it wasn't
reason
for
why
that
Hank
damn
stayed around.
Hank Basket, in
Damn
my
you,
Carol
Hank.
Baskin voice.
What a great receiving core that was.
He couldn't keep his basket in the basket.
Derek John says he will be there.
D,
Are you
what
gonna be
up,
at the-
D?
He said he's going to be at the open practice or preseason. If you're at either or, let us know. We'd love to meet up.
Yeah, let me know, D. That's my little brother right there.
Okay, shout out to little brother. One thing to mention, if you guys haven't been noticing, I start thinking about the Oakland Raiders, the Los Angeles Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders. They put out a statement saying that you have to be vaccinated to be into the stadium. You're talking about. I've seen posts from everyone underneath that post.
Mhm.
People are they bought their tickets, got hotel
Furious.
rooms, and now they're furious because they don't want to get like it is your choice, right? It is your choice. So
Yeah, you try to
they're
kill
like,
people,
what?
there's consequences.
They're like, what am I going to do with my tickets? So they're
Holla
like,
at your
for
boy.
all you Eagle fans, because I get hit up all the time. Well, are you going to Vegas? Are you
Holla at your
too
boy.
much?
Might be.
It's expensive. Too expensive.
You need it.
I might.
You
Now,
need to
if
get rid
you're
of
trying to go to the
Subway
Vegas
somehow.
game, this is a shining moment from whatever God you believe in or whatever. That is opportunity to get tickets now. I've heard prices are going down.
Mm-hmm. Down.
So this
down,
is good news
down.
for Eagles fans. But for people who aren't vaccinated, this is very
Vaccine and relax.
because I met up with Prime on Saturday, and we were gonna go bowling. He was gonna show off his bowling skills, and the guy at the security was like, "You can't come in if you're not vaccinated." I was like, "What? You got to show your vaccination card."
Yeah.
So this is in
That's
terms
gonna
of
become
like
a thing, I think, man.
and if the Eagles follow through as well with this type of situation, there's some people who don't want to get vaccinated. There again, more tickets could be available for games.
We're talking about tickets here.
Oh yeah.
I'm just saying.
If you guys
If
are
you're looking for
selling,
tickets-
keep us in mind.
Keep us in mind.
I don't know. I
That's
mean,
awesome.
Sir Eddie says they are $300 now.
Oh shit.
Interesting.
Might just be going. I'm thinking about starting a Forrest Gump tour. I'm gonna start walking now, grow a beard real long. I'll make it to Las Vegas, and we'll keep it real, dude.
Man, I'm about to go stand in front of the link and let people know I need Vegas tickets.
I saw somewhere in the chat someone asked, "Are we going to Atlanta?"
Here we go again.
I'm not. I will be in the comforts of my home for week one.
Fake
I saw
vaccine
someone got a
card.
$10,000 fine for selling fake vaccine. I was like, oh,
Yo.
shit. Might want to rethink that one and maybe just go help your brothers and sisters out there. I don't know.
Pretty soon,
Shout out to Nina.
It's gonna get crazy, man. It's gonna get
Nina
crazy.
says,
It is.
"Watch out for
Already
those
is.
fake vaccine
Prime.
cards.
Watch.
Make sure
Prime's
you
the
say hi
luckiest
to-
one of us all. He gets to wear the mask all the time. We're-
I'm good.
Make sure you say hi to your mom, Nina. If anyone doesn't know Nina on socials, her mom is
shout
awesome.
out. Yeah, shout out to Mom Dukes.
Hello
Mom
again,
does a
Nina.
dance. Mom does a dance, gets excited about her Eagles. That's the kind of vibe you're looking for
Yes.
an Eagles fan.
Exact
She
vibe
raised
I'm
you
looking
well.
for.
She raised you well. Todd says, if they thought Peter was bad, wait until they see the anti-vax crowd.
Yeah. We
I
already
mean, it's
saw
just-
what
it's
happened at
just-
the Capitol.
It's just an interesting situation. Like I could, as a football fan, I would have never thought I would be talking about this in a million years. Like this would have been like now it's just a whole different vibe. But like again, we were out at last week's preseason game. We were at the open practice the previous week. It took a little bit to get used to, but as the game got going, I was like, I'm good. I looked over at Evan. I was like, was he nervous? No, the guy was sweating from the heat, but he was okay.
But what was nice and dry? freshly manscaped area.
I was just gonna say fan side at 20.
That's right, it's 20.
Yeah, this dude, he's like
20% off.
This dude was sweating. Your shorts are drenched. Your palms are sweaty.
Hey man, thanks for putting me on blast in front of everybody.
moms.
Appreciate it, bro. Go fuck yourself.
You put him on blast in front of Kyle.
Get this man a diaper. Manscaped. Can you do that? Diaperscape.
Oh man.
What a great time that was seeing you guys, though, man. Just
Nah, it was man. Now Timothy has a question here. He says, "Who is your standout player, and who's on the hot seat for Thursday
It's
night?"
Gale when he pooped his pants in the stand. You should have seen it. I had to smell it the whole game. It smelled like shit.
This guy is nothing but lies over here. Nothing but lies.
I think Fulgham's on the hot seat for me. I just really need to see him step up. We talked about that earlier in the game, so he's definitely somebody I need to, and I also need Mullins, like we talked about, because he's going to have a lot of time with these receivers we want to see, and we're not going to see much. That was the whole purpose of bringing this dude in. You were not developing one in Jamie Newman in a quarterback. You have a guy that, he's a veteran, and even I was like, it's a smart move. Yeah, Mullins, could you please just try to throw a 5-yard pass to our receiver? That'd be great. Thanks. But stand out, dude. If we see a little Devontae, I'll shoo. But I'm curious to see what kind of running back rotation. I think that's going to stand out for me without carry on. Jordan Howard got the start, but only had a couple. He wasn't really in there for more than 10 snaps. So let's go running backs. Let's run that ball. We only ran the ball 11 times last game. So
that block did me justice. It was good enough.
Sure did. And that's why we love him, right? Everybody, he sucks, he's old. It's like, dude, he can pass protect. That's the thing we love about him. Gainwell, all these guys, they bring all of those tools to the table. So when you see a split back, we talked about this, 21. You're going to have 2 running backs in the field at the same time. And I'm telling you, when it's Miles Sanders, Kenny Gainwell, you're going to be shitting your pants, because then you're like, oh, yeah, there's still Devontae, Jalen Reagor, and Dallas Goedert's there. Oh, Tyree Jackson, that tall guy's there. Have fun. Oh, Jalen Hurts, the quarterback, too. He can.
So, Ev, who's your standout player, and who's on the hot seat for you?
Definitely. I'm not trying to steal anyone else's thunder here, but the guy in the hot seat has to be Travis Fulgham, man. We've been talking about how he needs to step up. You need to step up. And another guy I'll actually put in the hot seat there is guy Nick Mullins, bro. Or Nate Mullins. My man didn't deserve a first name at this point after that first preseason performance. He needs to completely turn that around. Just show us that first game was a fluke, or else maybe we might have to look elsewhere before this season starts for our third quarterback. But as far as our standout player, I'm feeling like we're going to see some highlight level blocks out of our newly anointed left tackle, Jordan Mailata. It's going to be, he's going to have himself a day out there.
Yeah, I think the hot seat for me would definitely be Mullins. After that poor performance last Thursday, he's got no choice but he has nothing else but to come back, and redeem himself this upcoming preseason game. But standout, I don't know. I mean, I think I don't have a player in general. I just think standout period would be that whole defensive line. I want to see that whole defensive line just go to work, man. I want to see them, do some damage and, show us what to look forward to this upcoming season. So, that's where I'm at with that.
I'm going to have to say hot seat. I think, Mullins is one of those guys. I mean, there's a couple guys that you could say, but I do think, if in terms of you're looking at the back end of, I think Huntley, I think he's flashed enough, but I think this is a fight for your position on the team. Like if you can keep on, showcasing your ability to break off some runs here and there, but it's tough. I mean, look at the running back group. Like I could be okay with 4, but you know what I mean? Like if you're going to keep 5, is he alive? I don't know. Standout player. I think Milton Williams might be a standout for me. Like I think he's going to, again, like we talked about their offensive line. They haven't been able to block any of our defensive players up on the front. So I'm gonna go with I'm gonna show the D line some love. Again, I saw that dude in person. I was like, this dude is country strong. Like Fletcher Cox. I'm just excited for the future, man. Some of these young dudes that are coming in, like I don't know if it's new vibe, new coaches. I just feel like there's a new vibe in place, and I definitely feel a difference from last year. It's like a whole new vibe going on right now.
I was just gonna say, let me piggyback off you on that, because as soon as you said it, I got excited. And I just want to let that out while I can, dude. This defensive line we've talked about, it all begins in the trenches. We know that. But you look at what we talked about today, Kerrigan, Sweat, and Barnett, everybody we're so excited about. But Milton Williams, holy shit, dude. You talked about seeing him in person. Just, I'm excited from watching the tape. But to see him in that game, oh, my God, I went to get something to eat. I remember walking out, and I literally saw him. And I know it was given to McGill or whatever for that sack. But, dude, he just moved a man. And it was just, it's crazy because they had him at defensive end. And the thing is, you have to see what he can do, but they're right away throwing him on defensive end. And somebody, I forget who it was, had a presser this week, and they said they're testing him. They want to see how good he really is because they think he's something special. So I think you're going to get a nice dose of Milton Williams at defensive tackle this time around instead of defensive end. And thank God, because Marlon Tuipulotu sucked ass, and so did Raekwon Williams. But I'm not concerned about that because we got Cox, Hargrave, McGill, Ridgeway, and Williams there. That's 5 guys. Do you keep 5 is the question there. So like the depth there, but I am jumping on board with you two. And I know Evan said it earlier in the show too. So defensive line, the one-on-one matchups, I cannot wait to see it against this Patriots front.
Now, shout out to Kristen Goldhammer. He's Christopher, sorry. Besides backup quarterback, which position is still in need of help? I'll start with you, Evan.
I would still like to see another cornerback. I would like to see a slot corner better than Avonte Maddox. We talk about how I told you how he was serviceable, but that serviceable is just a kind word to say we could totally improve that position. So, if we're looking at that, I have confidence in our first cornerback. I've seen a lot of rust on Steve Nelson. Steve Nelson. So I'm kind of in a spot right now where I need to see some more depth in the cornerback position. I would love if we brought in another guy, or if we ended up finally making that Ertz trade. However we end up doing it, if we brought another body that could find his way into the starting rotation at cornerback, I'd be mucho happy.
Prime,
Evan pretty much showed it's the cornerback. I think we could go ahead and go after one more, even at a linebacker position. I know I'm big on Alex Singleton and what we have on the core, and we haven't really been talking about linebackers, but that would be another key position to go ahead and bring a stud out there, so that way we could go ahead and signify that position. I don't know. I don't see anywhere else besides those two positions. I think we're good everywhere else. Defensive line, we're stacked. Wide receivers, we got guys that are stepping up and giving us a reason to talk. Running back, another good problem to have. Those are the only two positions that I could really think of.
Well, thanks, Prime, you son of a. Well, I had talked about it last week. We talked about KJ Wright, a possibility of adding a veteran linebacker. I would totally be for that. And that's because of the injuries to Jacoby Stevens and Damian Taylor, 2 guys that are supposed to be nickel linebackers. And the nickel linebacker we have left? Rashad Smith. And he sucks. Be a grande problema. Dude, but let's be real. You know who we need to bring in? A kicker. Jake Elliott just got hurt. He has day-to-day right now with an ankle injury. So as much as he was looking good after a couple misses in practice, he unfortunately is dealing with an injury. I talked about it being a concern this offseason that we didn't have any competition, not only to push someone, but what if something were to happen? Now, here we are a couple days before this game. Wouldn't be surprised to wake up tomorrow and see a kicker brought out on this roster. I'm sure they're calling someone up right now.
Remember Murder Leg? Was that guy named Murder Leg?
Was that Savraka?
No,
he was a kicker.
He was a smaller guy. Yeah.
Not
Chris says bring Jordan Hicks back.
Before it.
Hey,
he who remains. I agree.
I'll be big right there.
I forgot to mention let's see. My position that's still a need. I'd say maybe a safety. Just to bring it to the mix. Looking at some of the people that are being cut, I do think cornerback group needs another player back there, bro. Jock Talk says KJ Wright. Like, if you brought in a guy like KJ Wright to this group, but they probably want to see what they have in our linebackers. We know Davion Taylor is still dealing with his injury, so let us not forget about him and his ability to roam the field. So again, maybe a backup linebacker or a free agent that is solid, but we know that they, the way our linebackers are set up. My Kevin Hart voice. We don't throw money at that. That's like Evan throwing money away. He's not going to do that. That's Mr. Frugal.
It's Mr. Frugality over here. Is that a clearance rack?
But hey, man. Any last words before we get out of here? We'll go last words. We'll start with Prime.
Yeah. Shout out to my fiance. We're gonna do our thing on Saturday, baby. I'm excited.
Beat me
about
to another
that,
one.
Man. Yeah, I'm sorry. But I'm excited about that one, man. I
love it.
3 days away. It's getting there, man. The jitterbugs are kicking in and stuff. Trying to get a lot accomplished in these last couple of days, but hey, this is the reason why I put a ring on that finger was because of her. She's that missing piece of the puzzle that I've been waiting for, and I'm finally going to go ahead and have it.
I don't know if you can hear me humming it internally. I'm humming Jagged Edge, Let's Get Married. But if I played that, we'd probably get fined here. But yeah, man, that's yeah. I'm gonna be there, and I'm not gonna cry. Okay?
Autumn right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Yeah, buddy. Jimmy, last words before we get out of here.
Yeah, congrats to Prime. Have a great time, man. Enjoy your moment with your family, dude. It's awesome. Proud and happy for you. And dude, Evan, stay safe in Vegas, please. Ladies and gentlemen, all of you out there, stay safe at the game on Thursday. Open practice on Sunday. We're getting closer and closer. We're less than a month away, and I may just have a heart attack before the season starts. So I just want to stress over and over again that I love you all, and it's been a pleasure this offseason. Just trying to find the positives that there are, and we understand the skepticism. We understand that there's going to be bumpy roads, but if we all brace for impact, go in this with tempered expectations, we can enjoy the moment. Be there while these guys are growing, and hopefully we're growing into something special for a long time. You know what I mean? I would love to see a few Super Bowls from Hurts, Devontae, Jalen. I think we could seriously be building something really special here with these young coaches and players. But yeah, my last words, go Birds!
Evan?
Yeah, everyone's kind of touching.
Last words before you go to Vegas?
Yeah, that's kind of where my head's at right now. I'm kind of in a hold on, let me find it. See, I can't even. This is where.
Don't care. Don't care. Don't care. Still don't care. I don't care. I don't. I don't care. I don't care.
I don't care.
You don't care anything about Vegas. That's just.
Oh, that's not what I'm saying. I care.
He doesn't care about anything
except
Vegas.
when I get to Vegas. Yeah. I'm excited to be watching this game from Caesars Resort. It's gonna be a fun time. I plan on
flex.
Plan on not
flexing,
flex.
man.
If it's anything like the other night, the wedding I was at, I'm not gonna have many notes for you guys.
Wow. Are we even going to hear from you?
I'm trusting you guys can hold it down. Listen,
Okay.
man, I go on these little I go miss.
You go MIA. You go MIA.
I go MIA.
You go MIA.
But Prime, I just want to, in all seriousness, I want to offer congratulations to you and your beautiful bride. I hope that your wedding takes off and it is everything that you expect it to be.
Thanks,
I wish the best for you guys. So congratulations.
And just a key note, I'm gonna talk to Gail. We're gonna talk. Maybe we could throw a little clip. Maybe we could go a little live for a little bit. I don't mind, you know what I mean, showing, you know, people out there the great time we're going to have on Saturday. Now, on Evan's behalf, no, it's not happening. We're not going to see anything.
Yeah.
It would be rolling with Prime.
I'm going dark.
Rolling with
boys.
Prime, man.
Going dark.
Rolling with Prime. Like the fans in the chat want to know
The wedding edition.
Yeah.
who's your starting linebacker.
Yeah. I'll be taking prop bets. All right.
Shout out to you, Tim. Shout out to everybody again in the chat. We appreciate you guys sticking around and being a part of the show. And
Hasta
again,
luego.
we just want to let you know again if you are
Buenas
just
noches.
tuning in. Ticket giveaway. All you have to do to win the tickets is go to our Twitter handle. Make sure you're following and put a comment in the chat. Don't quote tweet it. Put a comment in the chat. Hopefully, a person that you're bringing to the game. I remember Kyra won last week. She brought a Steelers fan. They had a good time. So it's really about bringing people together. That's what we're trying to do here. Look out for the tailgating. We will be doing that this season. Look out for that. What else? I will piggyback off what the guys here. Congratulations to Prime, you and the family. You got a great family. You got a great support. She allows you to do great things on here. What Prime has to do to get on the show, and it takes a support system, and he's got a good family behind.
Let's just take a moment to say, look at behind Prime, and that his woman let him just take over a complete fraction of the house to make into his man cave. That's a real one right there.
Definitely a real one.
Do that.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate you.
But I just want to once again, thanks everybody for being here. And again, definitely check in on your peoples. Make sure they're doing good out there. I mean, a lot of people are struggling with their mental health. They will not tell you as their friend. Call them up, ask them how they're doing, make sure they're good, man. And so the next one, we will see you guys, and fly, Eagles, fly.